Welcome to The Locker Room. It's the usual suspects on tonight's show, and although we might not be able to tell you who Kaiser Soze is, we will provide you some answers to the following. What should Cristiano Ronaldo do next? And for those who say he should leave Real Madrid, where should he go? Then former Arsenal player Martin Keown called Alexis Sanchez football's biggest mercenary. We ask who the winner is in this ongoing transfer saga. And was Real Betis coach Quique Setién wrong to speculate on Real Madrid player Dani Ceballos' state of mind? This and much more coming up, but I will start by welcoming our panel and Thomas Rongan. Show tactics I expect tonight. ASS. Attention, seriousness and sparring.
I will try. I will try.
Okay, all from you lot. Anyway, speaking of ass, according to a poll in Diario As, the Spanish Sports Daily, 2/3 of Real Madrid fans want Cristiano Ronaldo to leave Real Madrid in the summer. Ray, what should he do?
I think he should definitely stay for certainly this is going to be an important half season for Ronaldo. He's had the worst half season in his last 9, and he's still top gun in the Champions League. So he's got this next half of the season is important to him. And I think to Real Madrid, but for Cristiano, for his legacy. All of this stuff about him wanting to leave, that, you know, we've been through the I'm sad routine with him. This is the time now where his team needs him. His team needs him. And he's got to come through, or else I think he'll be looked back on as something of a quitter. And you cannot say that about Ronaldo. And I think if he sees this season out and they produce the trophies with his inspiration, he'll resign. He'll sign again with Real Madrid. Yeah. He wants to stay with them. He said he wants to retire. Now's the time for him to show it. He wants to retire in a Real Madrid shirt.
That's if they want him.
Well, that's it. They're this is about his team, Gary.
But the president won't even give him the money that Neymar and Messi's on. So he's saying, I want to go somewhere I'm loved. Right. And the one place I can tell you he will be absolutely loved is Manchester, because he's already a hero there. He knows the town. He knows he can settle in quickly. He'll be a regular, even if he's not on form. And Ray, I'm not sure whether he can get back to exactly where he was. But let's say he can't, for example. He'll still be loved, even if he comes off the bench for 10 minutes.
But does he want to go to Manchester United to come off the bench?
No, I'm saying worst case scenario. I'm sure he wants to go there to do well. And United can do well. They're spending lots of money.
I don't think they would give him enough money. I think the only team...
Not?
I don't think the only place he could go to get anywhere near the money that he's going is China.
And this is not sarcastic, and I don't use the C's and the B's and whatever, but I think he needs to find a place right now where there's no Messi. Even Ronaldo's son says that Messi's the best player in the world. And it might sound a little weird, but it is. I think it's healthy for him to go right now. I don't think he's untouchable anymore. Right? As Gary said, they're talking about, which is ridiculous, by the way, that he should be benched maybe.
So where is there no Messi? MLS? China?
MLS isn't going to be able to...
If money is no, and Bobo knows this better because he knows Ronaldo. He loves American sports, the quality of life. What do you still have to prove at 32, Ronaldo? Come to New York, come to LA, be the second Beckham, help this nation to become better. Come on, Bobo.
I would never come to America 32 years old. You gotta, it's a lunatic thing. Go, keep staying in Europe. He's a fighter. You can see that he's hungry for the Ballon d'Ors, winning titles. I don't think he's going to go here. I don't think he's going to go to China. I think he's not going to come here. I think he's going to go to United or some team in Europe. And he still wants to win. He's 32 years old. He's too young. Maybe Perez isn't going to give him 40 million a year when you're 32 and a half years old. Yeah. But he's still an amazing footballer. And I think that wherever he goes in Europe, he's going to be the top goal scorer of the team easy.
If he's going to be that good of a footballer, why does he need to leave Real Madrid? I mean...
Because sometimes, Ray, after 6... How many years has he been there? 7, 8? You got to change... you got to change,
But he said himself, I want to retire in a Real Madrid shirt.
But they say that, don't they?
No, he's not just saying that. That's
Alexis
the words out
Sanchez
as the biggest, the most inspiring footballer Real Madrid has ever had. And that's a statement in itself. Does he want to... I know it's a big... Does he want to go out on that?
If Di Stefano can leave, Ronaldo can leave. Come on.
What did Coutinho say a year ago? I'm Liverpool through and through. I'll never leave.
But there's a difference with Ronaldo at Real Madrid to Coutinho at Liverpool.
Either way, Kate, Real Madrid's got to prepare for the future.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the timing is everything. But I'd like to see him sign another one for Real Madrid and win the Champions League this year, and then
You want him to sign a 5-year contract?
We got to move.
2 years.
They just went, boo, you should be giving it to Cavani. And then they applauded when the goal went in. So maybe they're making a mountain out of a molehill for me. But I'm just wondering, about Neymar himself, whether he wants to be playing in that league where he beats Dijon 8-0, where he scores 4 goals, where he's not really got defenders that are high quality playing against him every week. I'm not sure that's the right home for him.
What, as opposed to La Liga, because they're all such high-quality defenders in La Liga, when we're seeing 6-0 results as well on a weekend.
But I mean, in France, it's almost every week he's playing an easy game, whereas La Liga
or EPL...
But is that
just not more testament to PSG and his talent and just how stacked that team is?
I think if he stays there, it won't be for more than 2 years before he'll be saying, I need to get out, I need to go back to a higher level.
The segue that we made into this with Cristiano and Real Madrid, you're talking about somebody, if Cristiano does, throw the toys out the pram and he ends up at Manchester or China or whatever, what better player than Neymar to stick it to Barcelona? Real Madrid would break the bank like PSG did. They'd probably up the ante. They can afford it. He's a perfect replacement. He's arguably the second biggest world superstar in football. It all fits for him to go to Real Madrid.
And this whole situation, go ahead, Bob, because you've been there. I'm sure that you might have, in your career, have a fight with somebody about PKs.
No.
Come on, be honest.
No, once. No,
it
was this funny thing. I was there, it was Inter, okay, it was 2-0. I'm not going to say who the player is, okay?
Fair.
2-0. The guy up front with me was playing, he scored 2 goals, it was Ronaldo. So there's a penalty, 10 minutes to go. I ran 90 minutes, couldn't score. So I go get the ball and he comes to me and says, can I take the penalty? I went like this to him, my friend. And he ran away.
That's brilliant.
He got the message. He got the message.
Real quick, this is nothing new. If you look at Zlatan and Silva ran that locker room and divided that locker room 2 years ago, and Digne didn't play, Marquinhos on the bench, Saleh left as well. You see the same thing right now. This team could still win the UCL as well. Unbelievable. And you know what? Half of the assists of Neymar were to Cavani. So there is a give and take there. They're great athletes, they're competitive. I don't like Silva coming out and saying, you know what, Cavani, you came back late. I want to see if you're going to make the starting 11 again. There is this underlying current with the Brazilians that I'm not so sure about.
It did come back late, though. Do you think Neymar should have let Cavani take that penalty?
Yes.
You do?
Out of respect. He was tight with Zlatan. He would have been the all-time leading goal scorer. And Neymar wanted to be the first player in the league to be involved in 6 goals.
Selfish.
Selfish.
Messi would have given it to Suarez in the same circumstances.
It comes to the Champions League semi-final and there's a penalty. Who do you want to take?
Neymar.
Oh, yeah.
True.
But in this situation where you've scored 3 and Cavani's about to break a record,
that's got to be in the groove.
Christian, if you had a goal-scoring record coming up, would you want to surpass that record with a penalty? Or would you rather it be a...
You don't care? Penalty, no penalty, with your head, with your arm, whatever.
I love it.
But I think I would have given Cavani, because if he doesn't score this week, he's going to score next week, that's going to change. But you've got to show something sometimes to the player you're playing up front with.
So the next time, all eyes will be on them again.
We will, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it again here on The Locker Room. Still to come on the show, Jose Mourinho says Manchester United are there in the Alexis Sanchez deal. We discuss that when we come back, and we'll bring you our predictions on the weekend's biggest games. And Dani Ceballos answers back to Betis coach Quique Setien's claims that the player is unhappy. That and more when we return on The Locker Room. Welcome back to The Locker Room. It's a very special What I Love today, with manager Jose Mourinho has confirmed talks are ongoing over a swap deal involving Alexis Sanchez and Enrique Mkhitaryan. Many have had their say on the Chilean. Former Arsenal defender Martin Keown claimed that Sanchez has got to be the biggest mercenary in football. Arsene Wenger says the deal's likely to happen. Pep Guardiola said congratulations to United and the player. But who are the winners or the losers in this deal for you guys? You, Christian.
Okay, the winner is Sanchez, because you got a 16, 17 million euro contract.
$500,000 per week.
Clean. Wow. I like the clean. I don't think he's a mercenary, because he's finishing his contract with Arsenal. And if he isn't happy with what Arsenal offered him, why should he sign with them? So that's how the market is.
True.
That's how the market is. if you have the strength not to sign and then sign for more money in a bigger team anyway, why shouldn't you go? I don't understand this mercenary thing. So I think that Manchester have won, and Alexis Sanchez. Manchester United has won, and Alexis Sanchez has won.
Yeah, it's a good signing for United because we struggled on that left side. Martial's he's been in and out, and we wanted to get Perisic at the start of the season and didn't get him. And Alexis Sanchez is absolutely brilliant on that left side. Plus, if Ibra doesn't come back, and this is now a growing concern, and Lukaku gets injured, you can put Alexis Sanchez as your number 9 as well. So he gives you all these sort of options. And the other thing is Rashford's young, Martial's young, Pogba's young. You need experience, and he comes with experience at Barca, 2 Copa America titles. He's just perfect for us, for United.
He is, and I agree with that. In the next year or two, that could compete for a championship in Europe. The losers are Mkhitaryan, that for whatever reason, great player, didn't fit there. Martial, Rashford, Lingard, all young players don't get again that much playing time. So in terms of development, I'm not too sure. I think he's going to be their number 10, quite frankly, and let Lingard and Martial and Rashford be out wide with their pace. That's my opinion, where most should use him.
Don't Arsenal gain a lot from this move, Ray, if the player's not happy there?
Well, he was happy for a length of time, for a long time, but he wanted to be rewarded. They didn't come to terms with him. They had plenty of time to plan for this. But when he's asking for that much money, Kay, maybe Arsenal played their cards and said, you know what, we want him to stay, but we're not paying you that much money. Man United, richest club in the world right now, and they said, yeah, come into our parlour. He'll be a versatile player, like Gary says. He hunts the ball beautifully. Man United win out every which way for me.
And also, it's a bargain price. Pittance, 50 million for
But then the money that Arsenal could then use to spend on other players.
And remember, you know, they're going to be losing Ibrahimovic's paycheck. They're going to be losing Mkhitaryan's paycheck. That really makes it a good bargain.
And mercenary, I don't get. I agree with you. He's coming to the end of his contract. He's 29.
It was an ex-Arsenal player who said it, remember?
Yeah, I'm going to say it. You know, if he was 22 and going to China, I can go, hang on a second, why are you just going for the money? But seriously, 29?
But you know what? In the last 6 months, he really forced. He was a real disruptive force because he wanted to get out. And I don't know if that's as classy as it should be. And that's one of the reasons why Pep, I think, soured on him.
Because it would have been paying him more than a player like Kevin De Bruyne right now. And so you can see Pep Guardiola saying, OK, we're going to step out.
I agree with you, Kay. Yeah.
The problem is that things are going to come out if you don't sign. Like the last 3-4 months, a lot of things have come out because he's not signing. If he's not happy, people are going to start saying, mercenary, he doesn't want to stay there, he's not happy. But I tell you one thing, every time I see Arsenal play, he plays amazing, wins games, and gives everything.
He is.
It was his best year as well, with 24 goals.
He's a game changer. He's always been a winner. We've seen it with Chile, with his national team, where he was inspirational. And I think he'll bring back the good old days at Manchester United. Not by himself, but Mourinho has improved this team. He's got another big jewel in the
I want to look at you, Bobo. His powerful running.
He's amazing.
Does it look a little bit like Ronaldo?
Yeah, a little bit.
There you go.
He starts from the
and that means that Ronaldo's not going to menu.
But see how strong Manchester is? They knew they could have got him. In 48 hours, they closed. That's how strong this club is.
He's getting the number 7 shirt.
That means no Ronaldo, does it?
Yeah, there you go. That's 2 of you just mentioned that one. OK, moving on the locker room. When we come back, the panel give us their predictions on the biggest games of the weekend. I do hope that there's no fence sitting. And we bring you the back and forth between Betis coach Quique Setien and Madrid's Dani Ceballos. So stick around. Welcome back to the locker room. Real Madrid's Dani Ceballos has hit back at the Real Betis coach Quique Setien, who used the young midfielder as an example of how moving to the Spanish Giants at such a young age is not always the correct decision. He said, you see Ceballos' face at Real Madrid now, and he's sad. Today, the player responded by posting a picture on his Instagram story saying, soy feliz. I'm happy. So I'm asking you guys, I'll come to you first, Thomas. As a coach of an opposing team, should Quique Setien be wading in on the mental state of another player?
That is a tough one. I don't think he should. On that level, there should be a respect among clubs, among coaches more than anything else, because we're all in this together at the end of the day, 20 coaches fighting for their positions. I've done it as well. I had a Rookie of the Year my first year, Steve Ralston, that I wanted to bring to New England. And I got the fire going where he eventually said to management, like Sanchez did, I want to get out, I want to get to Boston. And I ended up getting him. Not the right way to do it, maybe, but it does happen.
This Ceballos, he's going to learn more in one day training with Real Madrid than a whole year with Betis.
Sure.
So what's his coach talking about?
But he needs to play still too, Bob.
Okay, but can I tell you one thing?
Yeah.
Of course, a 20-year-old a young guy has to play.
Sure.
But to go and train with these guys, you learn more.
Sure.
Then in a year, then you can go in January or next year.
His development
you're going to
will be
become
off the charts.
from being a normal player, train with these guys, you're going to become a top player.
But what does another manager know about what you do every day? You've both been managers. You can't sit on the outside and go, the player's not. If you're not with him 24/7, if you don't see him in training, it is wrong.
I think it's a storm in a teacup. He never came out and said it with any bobs. He was just it was a reflection of the young lad that he used to know, and says, you know what, he didn't look happy. We remember him when he was coming in and he had all the bon vivant and he was playing out of his skull. He was playing wonderful, and then Real Madrid said, come into us. He set the end knows.
But you don't think there's a little bit of a look at what you could have been playing in right now? Because he did say to him, there is no point, this is at the beginning of the season before he left, there's no point in going to a club where you'll be sub. I said this to Ceballos, and now look at the situation.
And is he right?
Well, so Quique Setien is right in saying it, but you think there is a little bit of a dig, like if you'd have stayed with us, you'd have been playing every week?
Of course, and you look at that, and every player that leaves for a club and goes, and he's getting, limited time. Hell, look at what James is going through now with Bayern Munich. They weren't playing him enough. James left, and he says, I'm happy.
The one thing I must say, 2 weeks ago, he didn't dress at all. He was sitting in the stands.
Yeah.
And I saw his face. And I go, wow, 20? Not really being part of it, that's tough.
Not close.
But this year, it's an experience. Next year he can go play. Maybe in January or maybe in June he can go play.
They need him now.
Yeah, but maybe it's not up to the other managers to say it. If the parents say it, I get it. If the press say it, I get it. The other managers, I think you should
listen to you.
Stay out of
Man United. Man United. What does Mourinho do?
He's not the voice.
Let's get you all talking now about the weekend's games. We've got Inter against Roma coming up. So let's start with you, Gary Bailey. What have you gone for in this game?
I've gone for a draw. And by the way, a draw is a result. It's one of three possible results.
Fence sitter.
Inter struggling. Roma, I think, are a stronger side.
Roma are also struggling.
No, but not as much as Inter. So I think I'm going to go with the draw.
Can I change my mind in the 60th minute?
You're not changing your mind. Who are you going for?
Inter all the way, baby.
All right, Thomas Rongan's going for Inter. Ray, who have you picked?
Internazionale. Everybody's fit, they're strong, and Borja Valero will turn it on. I love that player. I don't like his beard, but I love the player.
Christian Vieri surely won't sit on the fence on this one.
A 0-0. Both teams are scared to lose. Both teams are scared to lose.
I'm saying Inter in this one because I know that Di Francesco doesn't have the best record against. It's either Inter or Spalletti. I remember that. Okay.
Close game though.
So who are you picking?
Gary Bailey.
Who are you picking?
Inter. I'm going for the home side. Gary Bailey, Betis or Barcelona?
You seriously have to ask Barca. The way they're playing and the firepower they have, no problem.
Thomas?
Barca, yes.
Oh, I wonder if Ray will say Barcelona too.
I'm going with the Betis.
Whoa!
I'm going to take a big. This team's playing well.
There's your bet right there.
Barcelona have been
Put money on the table,
very difficult.
Put the money on the table.
I'll have a bet with him, Betis. The Betis comes back in shocks. And Atletico Madrid go, we're back in this, we're back in this.
They've not kept a clean sheet against Barcelona in La Liga since 2002.
Yeah, I've got something to say to you. K. Murray. Katea. Kayeta. Kayata.
Kayate.
Oh, Kayate.
Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Christian Vieri.
It was fluent, Brock.
I was trying, Thomas.
You did well. That was in Geordie Spanish. Julio Jordio. Betis or Barcelona?
What are you talking about? You're talking to me Spanish. It's going to be a very, very hard game. 3-0 for Barcelona.
Yeah, on this one, I think we'll be in for quite the ride, but I've gone for Barcelona. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're on your own there.
That's after what Quique said. Cállate la boca. Do you know any other Spanish, Ray?
Escuche. Escuche. Mira.
Mira.
Escuche.
¿Qué más?
Vamos,
Polaco?
Buenos días.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
All right.
Vamos.
Make sure you join us this weekend. We have plenty for you to be viewing on the Locker Room. Much live action. Locker Room on Monday. Extra at the weekend as we wrap up all the highlights. Ray will be on the call this weekend. Who knows what he'll be singing or if he'll be waxing lyrical with the Spanish as well.
Hey,
Yeah, we will be
oye,
back with us
¿cómo
on
va?
Monday to look back on it all. We'll see you then. See you later.
Ciao, ciao. By the way, I like your beer.